So welcome everybody. It's so nice to see you all again. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about, and of course meditate, a little bit around perception. And when we look to the word perception, it's so close to be receptive, reception, to receive, to be receptive. Another way to say it is to be open. What is important to understand is, when we talk about perception, we also talk about our senses. To open our senses, to let information to come in. And for instance, if we just take the sense of hearing, if you really want to listen to somebody else or to a sound in nature, maybe to a bird who's singing, we have to be silent inside. To be receptive means also that we are open, empty, silent. And that's needed to, sorry, that is needed to perceive. And that's also needed to really be aware. And when we kind of move back into the start of our life, every baby is pure awareness. We are aware. And if you can go back to your early childhood as a child, and that's also how children are talking and what they share. For children, which are not interfering too much with their mind in their perception yet, everything what they perceive is alive. It has an atmosphere. It's changing. It's not a thing. Even if it is a thing. A chair feels alive. And even if there is 5 the same chairs around the dining table, each chair is slightly different. The flowers are alive. Their colors are alive. Again, it's not a thing. And then we grow up. And then what's happening at a certain moment, we develop an I. I see, I hear. And the development of the I is very important. Why is it so important? Because with the I, also consciousness is opening up, or we are opening up towards consciousness. I hear, I see. And then hopefully when we grow up, now we take a big step to ages from 24, 25, 26, 30, 45, 81, never. We develop conscious awareness. And what exactly is conscious awareness? That we are conscious, that we are aware. That means if we perceive, we don't not only perceive what is happening around ourselves, but we also perceive what is happening inside ourselves. The dialogue between our being, our personality, and whatever is around ourselves. And that brings us to a different state of pure awareness. So sadly enough, when we grow up, so often we also, with the I, develop the mind. And that's not sad, that's a good thing as well. But sadly enough, we also learn how to use our perception. Or the mind is taking over how we perceive. And then when we look to this mind, this is not an open mind, but this is much more a closed mind. This is a mind which, on the background, there's a lot of fears. And that has an incredible influence on how we are able to perceive. We start grasping certain things, holding on to it as truth. This is the truth. And this influences how we perceive. So we don't like our neighbor. And immediately, when we look at our neighbor, or we listen to our neighbor, or we perceive our neighbor, we have a tendency to perceive our neighbor in a certain way. We are looking for those things which will basically strengthen us ourselves in the dislike. For things we can dislike. Proof of our feeling. Proof of the reality we want to see. It's like the news. Constant looking for proof why, for instance, the Russians are wrong and Putin is a crook. I'm not saying that he is not a crook, but he is a complete human being. Proof that somebody is an enemy. Proof that somebody is a friend. And in this, what we do with our perception is that some facts we take in, we hold on to, this is the truth, and other facts we averse, that doesn't fit the picture. So we push away. So Putin, for sure, has no heart. And when there would be a picture where he is looking very loving to another human being, there's something wrong with the picture. It's not real. Fake news. It doesn't fit. As an example. There is nothing wrong with, picking something up, looking at it, but it's so important to put it away as well. Not to hold on to things, not to grasp things as reality or truth. Truth and reality are changing all the time. And the moment we hold on to this, then our perception is changing. The things we look at are not alive anymore. They become facts. They become stories. And slowly, even the flowers are losing their color, their aliveness. Nature becomes something dead. Our neighbor is not an alive human being, multidimensional. But that person That person we like or we dislike, who is funny or not funny. So when we move into pure perception, unconditional perception, it demands from us that we kind of move beyond the mind. We move back to the heart as our center, or to the center of being. And the moment we kind of, move into this, when we are really listening or really are in pure perception. So one of the first things which are coming forward is that things become alive. Colors are getting brighter. What we perceive is more real in its quality. And it doesn't matter so much if something is beautiful or ugly. Both is touching, both is alive, both is awesome because it is alive. It also means if we move into pure perception, we move beyond judgment. And again, there is a difference between judgment and being judgmental, or to judge and to be judgmental. It's okay to judge, but to judge is in the moment. And that can change all the time. This is pleasant, this is unpleasant, this is nice, this is not nice. It gives us direction. Nothing wrong with it. It's like picking something up, but it's important to let it go again. When we are judgmental, it's always the same. Once a thief, always a thief. Once a liar, always a liar. Once unfriendly, always unfriendly. Once angry, always angry. When we judge, we say, okay, the person is angry right now. And what you see, this is much more real, much more open. We're even able to perceive what is behind the anger, what is behind the emotion, the feeling which is there. So the more we kind of move into pure perception, the more we're able also to receive different dimensions at the same time. Our mind is changing from a state in which it's either or, it's or this or that, into an and. So in all what I'm telling, it's clearly that our mind is really influencing our perception. And partly dictating how we perceive, what we have to perceive. So to move to pure perception, our mind has to kind of to change a little bit. 180 degrees. Maybe it's not a little bit, maybe it's a lot. Instead of deciding how we perceive, how it should be, what we should see, what we should be looking for, be aware. To kind of follow our perception, follow the experience instead of telling us how and what to experience. Because if the mind tells us how and what to experience, it colors and directs our perception to exactly to see what we should see or what we want to see or how it should be. And then basically we don't really perceive a lot. It's like we perceive in this little tunnel. There is a filter. There is this big filter on our perception. It's like when we are listening to a person, that all the time the mind is interfering. And most of the time when we listen to a person and the mind is interfering, the mind is kind of, already kind of producing an answer. I've been to Paris. Yes, I have been to Paris also. We're not really listening. It's all about ourselves. About certain areas inside ourselves. So if the mind is dictating how to perceive, what to perceive, the only thing what we perceive is a mirror of our own condition. A mirror of our own inner struggles, fights, traumas. We don't really see another person then. We're not able to hear another person then. We're not able to really take in. So how do we come out of this place where our mind is the king or the queen maybe and decides how to perceive into this open perception? Let's take some drugs. Drugs will do the trick. You can take some LSD and then we have gotten open, or some pados. That kind of immediately is changing our perception. And we are amazed by what the world is looking like then. And does it really change our perception? Or are the drugs helping to open something which is always there already? Or are the drugs helping to kind of, to move beyond the mind, beyond the busy mind, beyond the mind who is dictating us reality and truth, beyond the mind as authority, and are bringing us in this kind of land of wonder, this land of wonder, of miracles, where the mind is following the experience. And then it's almost everything we are able to experience on so many different dimensions. So if drugs are not the answer, but kind of showing us something which is possible, then maybe meditation is. The movement inwards, the movement to a place where there is stillness, where there is silence inside yourself. Movement to a place where we kind of are moving beyond the dictating and busy mind. A movement where we kind of find peace inside ourselves. And the moment we make this movement more to the depth of ourselves, where we are looking inward, where we become self-conscious and start to be aware of the different atmospheres inside ourselves, of what feels real and what feels not real, of our own essence or true nature. The moment we reconnect with this, our perception is opening up. And the way we start to perceive is much more open. And the world becomes alive as we are alive. So perception in this form is not only that we are aware of what's happening around ourselves, but we are even conscious that we are aware. And there is a difference. That means that the perception is deepening itself as an adult, in which we not kind of flow with everything which is happening without an eye. But we come to a situation where there is a center point of perception, not separate from everything around ourselves. This is the perception through emptiness, where we find unity, but not unity that I am the same as a leaf of a tree. But I recognize the leaf of the tree in its aliveness to the depth. And I can recognize the separate form, but the same life. Unity and individuality, a difference of form. I'm the same as you. There is a unity. I can experience you to the depth. I can even experience what you're experiencing. And there is a difference in form. And there is a difference in how we perceive at the same time. And this difference, which is there, this difference in form, this uniqueness, how we all perceive, that's the most awesome. We are the same and we are not the same. Incredibly interesting and enriching. So when we move into pure perception, it's an adventure. It's an adventure in which no moment is the same, in which no person is the same, in which everything is unique. But not other as we are. Not separate, but extremely intimate. There is no grasping. And there's no aversion. For sure, there is likes and dislikes because this is how we are built. But we don't hold on to it. We don't force a reality upon ourselves, how it has to be, or upon others, how they have to be. It is what it is. And again, sometimes we push things a little bit away in that moment, and sometimes we take something up and look at it for a longer time. Like we can kind of really take time to listen to a piece of music. And again, and again, because of the depth of experience which is coming forward. And then we let it go again, something else. Or we take to a look at a painting for a longer period. And it stays with us. And then at a certain moment, we let it go again. This is exactly how our mind can help us to investigate, to make choices. Now this and now that. According to the law of attraction. What is important to us at that moment. But not dictating how to perceive, what to feel, what to experience. So the sad thing is that it's not only our mind who is working like this, but we dictate it on others as well. And this is quite common. We tell others what to feel. You don't have to be afraid. You don't have the right to be angry. You should be grateful. You should be very happy. If I was in your position, I would be so fulfilled with my life. When you live in the Netherlands, you're very lucky. So you should feel lucky and happy. So this is how our mind is working towards ourselves, but also towards others. And the strange thing is when somebody is telling us this, it gives us a little bit a feeling of an irritation, but we have the tendency kind of, to follow it. Okay, I should be happy. I'm Dutch. Proud of it. It's dictating realities. But how do we perceive really to live in a certain country? What is the atmosphere of the country? Is it alive? Does each country, each culture has a different atmosphere, an alive atmosphere? And so often we experience this when we are on a holiday, more living in the moment, going for the adventure. The mind is following the experience. Now we have time to experience. We are on a holiday. We want to experience, to sit, in front of a restaurant in Thailand and look at all the people who are passing. Or maybe judging all the people who are passing. We have to say about everybody something. That's when we don't experience. if we are able to kind of in silence perceive the atmosphere of the trees, the people, this is when we start to perceive. Okay, I leave it like this. We take a little break, a 5-minute break, and after 5 minutes, Georgie will come with a beautiful guided meditation.
Okay, so welcome back everybody for the meditation. And the non-dual perception in us greets the non-dual perception in you and in each other and in the whole. So let's find a comfortable position, or a position which works for us. It can be uncomfortable if you like. Position which feels right for you to go inside. And as you turn inside, I'd like you to bring your attention to the whole area of the head and around the head. We're bringing our attention to the head and neck, the bone structure, the skull, the whole head area, inside and outside. As we bring our attention to the area of the head and the skull, we can also notice the dimension of mind and thought, how that shows up in this area or around this area. Give all the space to any thought that arises and disappears. We're allowing any thought to easily come and go. And maybe there's a background atmosphere to the mind or the area around the head. A background mood. Maybe you're sensing a kind of energy. Also here, as you sense the energy, let it be what it is, as part of all energies. You're sensing a particular mood. Let that mood be how it is, as part of all the moodiness. And maybe you're seeing patterns of light or darkness or color. And let whatever it is that you see of light or darkness or color, let it be what it is. We're letting the light or darkness or color be part of all light and darkness and color. As you move your attention upwards above the head, upwards to a space above the head, I'd like you to imagine that there is a very pure white light breaking through. Everything's fading into this white light. Whiteness of the white. The thoughts are dissolving into white. Any tension is dissolving into white. Any background feeling or atmosphere or mood is gently and subtly dissolving into white now. And perhaps you could become aware of your two hands and your feet as this dissolution into the whiteness is happening. Every thought or sensation is making the white whiter. Each feeling or emotion is making the white brighter. And all the time there is this simplicity of your hands and your feet, as you are here now. And this process continues. And as this process of disillusion goes on, whether or not you're aware of it now, we let the sensation in the hands and our feet move us to the bases of the body, to the sacrum and the pelvic area where we are supported. Just notice any physical sensations which are here in the pelvic area and in the sacrum. We're allowing the physical sensation of the bones and the muscles of the pelvis. As these sensations arise, change, and disappear. Maybe you could check what's the atmosphere, the mood in this whole area, this whole dimension of you. What do you feel like here? Let this atmosphere or mood take even more space, letting it be what it is. We're letting the atmosphere or mood of the pelvic area take its own space as part of all the atmospheres and moods. Are you aware of any patterns of light or darkness or color in the pelvic area? We're allowing the shadows and the light and any kind of color, to take its own space now. as part of all the light and darkness and color. Maybe you can notice some change in temperature in the pelvic area, where it is hot and where it is cold, and where it's changing. As we notice the sense of temperature of hot and cold, we're letting it be what it is as part of all this aliveness. Somewhere deep inside the pelvic area, right here, right now, there is an opening. The very pure red light is shining through. This pure red light is intensifying and spreading through all the space around you now. Just let yourself experience the redness of it. Any sensation that comes forward, let it blend into the redness of the red. Any mood or atmosphere is being absorbed by the red and making the redness redder. Any kind of experience or sentience is arising out of this red and vanishing back into this red as the red has all the space. You begin to dissolve into this. And just as everything is dissolving into red, you become aware of your hands and your feet as everything is allowed to dissolve into this pure red light. And as you are aware of your hands and your feet, let your consciousness now awaken in the chest area, in the heart area, the center of your being. How it is to be you as the one that experiences, as the perceiver. Let yourself begin to perceive what's here and now from the heart area, from the chest area. As the perceiver, I'd like you now to take a few steps into the imagination. We're going to visit the museum of your life. We're going to step carefully into the museum, which is showing all that's been experienced in your life. See yourself and feel yourself entering through the doorway now into the museum of your life. As you step into this museum, there's one room in particular which is attracting you. You're moving towards this one room. And stop. Stop moving and feel where you are. What do you sense around you? Is there something that you're searching for? Something that your energy is grasping for? Notice how this grasping moves. Perceive it. Notice how it feels to be grasping. Let yourself experience how your energy moves when it's grasping. What's touched in you behind the grasping? What's happening deep inside of you as you perceive the grasping? What's behind it? Let this feeling that you're feeling now move through the whole body, letting it really come to life, trusting it. Now you move forward and take some more steps through this museum of you. Is there a room where you must never go, where you have a complete aversion? Is there something which you really can't stand seeing? Or someone? Just stop and let yourself become aware of the aversion. Notice how your energy moves with aversion. Perceive it. What's happening in your physical body right now as you allow the experience of aversion? And as you allow this movement of aversion, let yourself perceive where you're touched inside, what's happening behind it, what's going on behind the aversion. What are you feeling now? In the core of yourself. And as you continue now to move through your museum, noticing paintings, sculptures, textures, smells, you become aware of a particular resonance of light all around you. A rose pink light is in the air between all things. As you begin to attune to this rose pink light, little by little you become aware of your feet and your hands, the openness of your heart, right here, right now. As it's possible to relax the body and allow yourself to purely perceive whatever's unfolding now. We're allowing the pure perception of ourselves being here now, together, in this physical experience. We're allowing ourselves to lean back as the one which perceives it all. Who is this one? Who are you as the perceiver? Okay, as we come back into the here and now, it's time to say goodbye to the people watching us on YouTube. Thank you for joining us, and also in the future, thank you for being with us. And we will be back again every Wednesday, and you can also come and jump into the Zoom room, which is a very friendly place. So thank you for being here, and bye for now. And the rest of us, we take a 5-minute break, and then we come back for some sharing and for the peace meditation.